early, but welcome in. Welcome. Let me set this timer for 30 minutes. Let me give it 35 minutes. All right. So, welcome. I'm your host, Tonya TKO. Today, we're going to be talking about something that I thought was really important. It came up on my let me change these cookie settings, confirm choices. It came up on my community tab, and I know it's a little bit early. I know it is. However, you all know that I'm in grad school and this is the time. This is the time. So I don't typically make videos this early, and I haven't been making videos lately because once I get into the day, things just begin to continue rolling, rolling, rolling. All right, so it looks like my text is covering my name. Here we go. All right. Oh, looks like the people are awake. All right, come on in, y'all. I see you're up just like me. Get the morning started. I've been awake since about 4 o'clock, and yeah, the time went back last night. I was like, wait a minute, why does this thing say 3 a.m.? But I think the time, well, whatever the time went back into. Oh, there's a lot of you awake. Okay, all right. So we in here. We in like Flynn. Or we in there like swimwear. I don't know how I feel about that one, but let's I'm gonna wait for the text to go out to the text notification squad, and we're just gonna get cozy and get to know each other a little bit better right now. So let me find out where some of you are coming in from and what time it is wherever you are, because there's a lot of us on here. So tell me, oh, somebody talking about the early bird gets the worm. Speaking of which, there's an early bird sale going on my in-person event. It's a full day immersive experience. The link is in the description. It's called New Self. And we're going to be doing a bunch of different modalities to help you shift into a new being. So we're going to be doing hypnotherapy, NLP. We're going to have guided imagery. We're going to go on some journeys, to visit our younger selves, to go into forgiveness, to do a lot of things to really create that shift. It's on early bird right now. And I want people to be able, part of the reason that I'm doing an early bird is because I want people to be able to come. And there are people that I am finding out do not want to invest in themselves. And it's making me think about creating some changes on my channel, because we're not just here for entertainment to sit around. I want people who are willing to get uncomfortable and do the work. So if I have a platform of over 200,000 people, and I have a bunch of people who come and watch when we're talking about something controversial or quote unquote ratchet, as some people would say, however, they're not coming around when it's time to really do that work, I have to start questioning. So let's see. We got Detroit 505. My EBT card, that's funny. Wait a minute now. What's going on out there in these streets? 405 in Illinois. We got 10 in Rochester. That is not correct information, dear. It is not 10 unless you still awake from last night, honey, and you think it's 10 p.m. Or maybe you awake from last week and you think it's 10 a.m. But Rochester, New York is nothing 10 on that. So we got Yuma, Arizona at 3 a.m. Let me see. Oh wait, no. That's too much. We're going too far, too fast. I just want some little soft background music. Oh my gracious, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Let's see. There's too much, too much. Let me do sonic raindrops. That should be nice. Okay, good. There we go. This is good. We got Maryland 506, Lithonia, Georgia 4. Honey, you gotta do your clocks. What time is it? Hold on. My phone is saying 5, so if you're in Lithonia, Georgia, it should be 5 as well. Come on now, what we doing? We got Queens 507, Waco. What time is it in Waco? EBT cards deserve love too. Listen, baby, if you're going to troll on my channel this morning, this is not the right time for it. We're going to be talking about men, women. We're going to be talking about the patriarchy. We're going to be talking about our programming. We're going to be talking about a lot of those things. Atlanta's in the house, okay? All right. Well, let's see. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Party time for some people. You know what? It's Sunday. There's some people that are still out partying. All right. So if we are ready to get into it, let me see. All right. Remember, the clocks were supposed to go back last night. So my clock says 6 and my phone says 5. So, all right. So we in the building, all over. All right, that's good. I respect it. Okay. So we're going to get live on every platform. I'm sure the text has gone out. If you want to hear more about my event that is coming up in December, the link is in the description. If you want to join my mailing list, if you want to get a text whenever I go live, that link is also in the description. You can also go to my website, Tonya TKO, and you can read my blog. You can, there's a lot that we're going to be talking about. All right. Okay, good. All right, Kira's still up from last night. Maybe that's why some people still thinking it's 10. Honey, it ain't 10. Unless you maybe in, where would it be 10 a.m. right now? 5 hours ahead? Would that be in Oceania? All right, let's go ahead and get live on all of the platforms. Let's do that. Let's see what the dealio is. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and get live. All right. We are live on Twitch. We're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn. And of course, we are live on YouTube, which is the main platform. Welcome in, welcome. I am your host, Tonya TKO. I'm a self-love specialist from TonyaTKO.com. I hope you shift into loving yourselves and one another. Well, actually, my focus is really mainly you, because from you, it spreads out to others. So let's start with you first. Put your oxygen mask on first, all right? So today we're going to be talking about desperate men trying to shame Black women back into slavery. I got a post on my page. Let me turn this down just a little. All right. I got a post on my page last week when I put up my 7-week update. So I've been at an Ivy League school now for, I am a week behind on my updates, which I'll get my week 8 up today. And so I'm knee deep into a very prestigious program where I'm studying psychology. And hold on, let me just rewind. Let me rewind and tell you all why we're here, who I am, and what we're about to get into. So there was a post that came up on my page. So I'm doing updates each week, just chronicling the journey. I didn't plan for this to turn into a thing, but I just started writing on my community board what it was like entering into an Ivy League program and the rigorousness. And then I just started doing it. I did it, I think, 2 weeks in a row. And then people started really looking forward to the updates. So I continued to do the updates. Week 7 was a particularly hard week. I'm going to go to my community tab and I'm going to show you the comment that has spurred this discussion right here. We're going to then go into a comment that I saw as I woke up this morning. You know, you wake up, you check your phone to make sure there's no international crises, and then when you see everything's all right, then you look at some of the little updates, and then you start your morning. Well, this morning I actually woke up with this on my mind. There was this young lady dressed as Kamala, and it starts out talking about dance party with Beyonce, and she's like dancing. Then she starts really like getting into her hair flying and everything. I woke up this morning with that song on my mind because I happened to listen to that right before I went to bed last night. You know, one thing I can say about us Black people is we are going to turn your jokes back on you. We're going to turn your criticisms right back around on you, and we're going to keep on pushing. That is one of the things that growing up in adverse situations versus versus growing up in entitlement and privilege. Like I told you, I've been doing a lot of reading and research and just diving into a lot of different papers. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about today. But it's funny how we are so resilient, how we bounce back, how we turn things back around on the aggressors. And there are some there's some divots that we can do better at, and that's what this video is about here today. So let's jump into it. I'm going to show you how to get to my community tab. This is my page right here. When you go to my page, this For You section right here will come up with different videos that the algorithm thinks would be best for you, right? If you click on community, that'll take you to my tab, right? And so this is the event that I was telling you all about. So for those of you who were interested in my retreat in Costa Rica, we've been talking about it for months. As you all know, in June, I had a really big operation. My doctor did not clear me for this international endeavor. I still have low blood count, but it is rising. And I feel almost back to normal. I say I'm about 90% right now, but I still get really winded when under stress. Not I'm talking about like physical activity. I still get really winded, and so I'm still working through getting back to optimal health. And so the concession is we've decided to do a 1 or 2 day event depending on if you're VIP or regular admission or general admission. So it's called New Self. I'm going to be doing hypnotherapy, NLP. We're going to be going on some journeys, and I'm going to be helping you shift into a new version of yourself. As I told you, I'm in school, and one of the things that I've come about is self theory and the paradigm of the self and who it is that we think we are, and how we have programmed ourselves into believing in a static version of ourselves that we have created our identities around. I did some self theory and hypnotherapy on myself, and it completely changed a lot of things for me behind the scenes, things that I was being troubled by and having angst over. And so I did that shift, and I decided to focus my workshop on self theory for you all. So that self theory, hypnotherapy, and these modalities, go to the page, click on it, and see. I'll show you all during the break some of the things that we're going to be doing and talking about. And part of the reason that we're talking about that is because of the post that I put up. Here I am, week 7. This has been so happy on campus. It was a good morning that morning, but things went terribly, terribly awry. So this is the intro to it. Week 7 at an Ivy League. This was a very up and down week for me. It started on a great note, eating my vegan, gluten-free meal prep, saved so much time. Lots of salads and greens after acupuncture last week. My jump rope on pavement this weekend. I woke up for the first time in a long time without knee pain. So the week was starting good. When I took this picture, eating delicious vegan breakfast, relaxing in the cool morning weather on campus, watching the trees change, then things went horribly wrong. And so you have to read it to find out what happened, right? Things did go awry very quickly that morning. And then if you click there, you can see the comments, right? Oh, let me get to the comment that I had to restart my system. Here we go. Here's a comment all the way down at the bottom from a person by the name of the Big Cheese, right? So this person writes to me and he says, "You are the perfect example of why women are not meant to struggle through life alone. Nothing can replace the happiness and security of a good man, right? And so I asked this person, I said, please let me know how you feel a man would improve, in capital letters, this situation, right? And he comes back and he says, he would give you maintenance, companionship, protection, and love with some sparkles on the end, right? Then he says, Tonya, may I suggest that just by enrolling in one class per semester, don't take on too many classes at once. So now, this man feels that he has some sort of dominion or ownership over a woman he does not know. If he's trying to control me with his suggestion, oh, don't take on too much. One semester, one class. Then next semester to be, oh, you don't have to take on any classes. Let me get you pregnant and all this other stuff, right? This is how they do it. So then he goes on to say, actually, I come back and I say, let me make this window smaller so that the text can let me make it a little bigger. Oh, here. There we go. That's perfect. And then so I come back and I say, the big cheese. Thanks for the reply. Help me understand, in your opinion, how those things would improve the situation. Maintenance of what? Elaborate. Companionship? Protection from what or for whom in this scenario? Love? How would his love differ in making this situation better rather than any old type of love, right? How would his love differ in making this situation better rather than any old type of love? So then here he comes. Oh, he did his soliloquy. Look at that. Looks like a poem. Right? Here we go. So he says, let me make this bigger for you so you can see the poem that the man's wrote. He wrote the poems for us, so we got to see the poems. All right. So the man says, maintenance/help or pay the bills and economic or political empowerment. Now we know that in about half, oh goodness, I don't want to quote the stat wrong, but women are paying half of the bills by and large in this present society. I don't know what fantasy world he's talking about, and by the way he sounds, I don't think he has the money to really care for a woman and a family. He just really doesn't. Listen to this, because he's trying to induct us back into slavery. Listen, protection against physical or bodily harm, positive mental enforcement, overseeing and addressing health issues. A man is going to oversee and address health issues. He's coming in as child number 4 or 5. He's coming in as another baby, needing you to be like, did you book your doctor's appointment, honey? No, oh, let me go and book it for you, baby. Oh, doctor, he needs, come on. He's coming in as another one needing to be taken care of. He's coming in by and large as another one that needs you to make his appointments. Remind him to take his vitamins and his lunch, to go get his little checkups, to go get probed and all that other stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Above a certain age, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about issues that I'm having on campus, and he's talking about protection against physical or bodily harm. You're at work, sir. And then, so how would he have helped in this situation with what I went through with my professor? So what's he going to come and beat my professor up, beat her down? He'll just be like, uppercut 1, 2, and be like, don't do this to Tonya again. Poof, poof. I mean, come on. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. So it's like, this is life, and we are traversing through the canals of navigating through what it means to have a meaningful life for us individually. Each person has to decide what's going to give their life meaning and go towards that, finding your purpose. I was experiencing severe levels of depressive feelings after my surgery and right before I started school. I saw a I was seeing a therapist. I need to get another therapist because of what I noticed about the present day model of the corporatization of therapy. But nonetheless, we'll talk about that in another video. When I started school and I started learning and really getting this thirst quenched, it has changed me as a human being. I know that I am walking in my purpose right now. And the ASD test that my therapist did on me showed that over the course of these weeks that I went from extreme levels of depressive feelings to now above normal levels of anxiety and stress. Things are a little bit better now. You have to wait for week 8 update. Things are a little bit better now, but it did do that switch. But that's because I'm just becoming accustomed to the weight of the amount of work. And so I am living a life that is bringing meaning and drive. This is part of the reason that I'm doing this event next month, because I have a certain set of skills to be able to help you create real change in your life. I've invested a lot of time, money, training, reading, practice into honing these skills to be able to assist you. And I'm qualified and certified to do so. Being in school and reading these research papers and knowing that I'm going to have to write one of my own and give a 1 hour long dissertation speech when I finish this Women in Gender Studies program, because I'm doing simultaneous things. I'll talk to you all about that later. The people behind the scene on the tech squad already know. So, all right. So here we go. Let's keep going forward. Love, emotional companionship, intimacy, and spiritual connection, and becoming one. Now, I'm going to talk about this in my week 8 because I ended up going on a retreat, and I spoke about this at my, because there's this Native American ritual of the talking stick, and so you pass the stick, and a woman goes into the circle, and she just speaks about something that's on her heart. And so this guy is talking about a good man and all of these things on the list, right? All of these things. And when I was in that talking circle, I talked about how that was the plan. When I was in my 20s, that was the plan. The plan was to meet a good man and settle down and have children, and that he would provide all of these things. That was the plan. But what did reality turn into? Reality turned into me being a woman that was raised in a house where I grew up respecting and exalting men. But when I went out there into them streets, oh, what did I find out? I found out that what existed in my home was very much different than what existed in those streets. The way that I was treated by men who I thought would see me flesh of their flesh. Nah, they saw me as prey. Wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. Yeah. They saw me as prey, and they preyed upon me. Yes. And then they turn around and they say, you should have chose better. But the thing is that we're living in an alternate reality where we're being told one thing in these fairy tales about it, what exists about this happily ever after. And then reality sets in. And then we realize that the promise that we were told was sold. The promise we were told was sold. And then we're the ones left holding the bag. What we find out is that we are entrenched in a patriarchy where not only you are programmed, but they are programmed too. And they aren't programmed to provide those things. There will be some content creators that'll tell you that it is a genetic disposition of men. Let me get my book, because one thing that grad school has taught me is about the importance of research and getting information from qualified sources. Give me a second. Let me grab my book. Here we go. This book right here, Gerda Lerner, The Creation of the Patriarchy. This book here. Anthropologists who have done research on the different societal structures that have existed over time. You have to remember that by the time written language came in, it had become his story, no longer her story. And this is when they started promulgating the field with their tales of excellence. Did you know that these great philosophers, I believe it was Plato or Aristotle, one of them, was mentored by a woman? That he got all of his philosophical training and thought from a woman. And when they, let me say that again. And when they went to tell the story of how we got to where it is that we are now, they somehow left women out of the equation. They come to you and they tell you that you are a piece of a man, not even his heart, his abdomen, or a vital organ, but no, you're a piece of the daggone man's side, that they took out a little thing from the side and made you, when all evidence shows that man comes from womb. Man comes from womb. But you see, they've convinced you that you come from a rib. They've convinced you that God, the highest of the high, is male. And not only that, his son is male. And guess what? He has no women aligned near him. No mother, no sister, no wife. He is all alone up there in the sky. And the only heir to the throne was a male. Don't you see how there's no balance here? In these Abrahamic monotheistic religions, they have taught you that God has a, I'm not going to say it, it's vulgar, that God is male and has male appendages and a male booming voice and all of that. This is what you've been taught. And the crazy part about it is that all of this is projection. They hide the stories of when we worshiped the goddess. They told you that pagan was of the devil. Meanwhile, they took the pagan rituals and recycled them and put them right back in your face. The reason why we have balls on Christmas trees. Listen, this is because of fertility, baby. Listen, part of the reason that you search for eggs during Easter. Don't you ever wondered what does that have to do with the stone that Jesus is allegedly moved from in front of the tomb? What does the Easter bunny and eggs? Oh, it's Ishtar, baby. That's that fertility, honey. So they went and they took those same pagan, even changed the date of Jesus's birth into December, because that is when the winter solstice was, honey. You're going to have to do your research, but don't worry. Sister Tonya TKO is here doing the research for you, baby girl. That's all right. I'm here. And so they taught you all of these things and they projected. They talked about how Eve was the one who succumbed to temptation. And then Adam was convinced by her. Really? We can see by and large who are the ones who have issues with controlling their temptation. And is it women? Yes or no? Type it in the comments. We already know who it is. It's men. They're the ones with constant and chronicle issues with temptation. They can't control themselves. When they see a little bit of soft flesh and it's all pumped up and the face is cute, they go wild, abandon their families, their job, their senses, everything. They don't care. They can't give one F. They weren't designed in that way. Listen. So you have been convinced. You've been convinced that men are these leaders. He's been convinced of it too. I want to get to his comments today, right? So then he goes on. This is what he says to me. You need a good man. Now he got the exclamation points. You need a good man. All right, honey. You screaming for? Now let's go back down. Let's make this a little smaller. Mm. All right. I'm going to read this for you because there's a lot of text and it's on the screen. So here, so he comes back and he says, Tonya, may I also add just one caveat? Generally, women are not built to be out here in the world struggling like men. Women should aspire more in the direction of the soft life. I need you to pay attention to these next words. Let me see, when we got 4 more minutes before our movement break. I need you to pay attention to what he is considering the soft life. This is the soft life for him. Oh, a self-pampering bubble. Oh, bubble baths, exercise, meditation, nurturing and raising children. Honey, he threw that raising children on the end, didn't he? How many people out here are mothers? Is raising children the quote unquote soft life? Raising a child is difficult. Raising children is even more difficult. There are challenges that come, and then don't let your child be born differently able. Then you have a whole other set of challenges. But even with the most vivacious, the most, I don't want to say normal because that's not the word, but even in the case of the most healthiest, typical child, it's quite difficult raising children and all that comes along with that, right? So he adds that on the end, and I come back and I say, check your numbers. You didn't answer all 4, and mix the corresponding numbers. And then he comes back and says, okay, so I need to add some more in here so I can scroll down. He comes back and he says, okay, 4. So let me see what my number 4 was. Number 4 was love. How would his love differ in making the situation better rather than any other type of love? Because we have love, right? But he's talking about specifically the love of a man. So he goes on to say, the Lord created Adam from the soil and gave him dominion over the Garden of Eden. The Lord noticed that Adam was lonely, even though he had dominion over the Garden of Eden. So the Lord blessed him with a help meet in capital letters. A help meet. That's what you are. You're supposed to help him meet something. With a helpmeet created from one of Adam's ribs. Didn't we just talk about that? This scenario is evident that both men and women complete each other. Well, no, the man was already complete. You were taken, according to him, from his completeness, a piece, a little arbitrary piece of his side, something that he could do without. A rib. He didn't have to gain weight for 9 months. You didn't have to grow of his bones and leach from every organ of his body. And then he didn't have to push you out through his hole. He didn't have to do that. Nah, he just made from a piece of his side. And then you came whole to be a help meet, to help him meet stuff. So, and we know that men are the ones who are naturally submissive. They are the ones who thrive in an environment where they are giving of themselves to the womb men. We know that. We know that when a man is truly enthralled with you, that he is the one that submits. We'll continue. The Lord created man and woman to be fruitful and multiply, not be independent from each other, going in separate directions. Then our time is running down for our first break. So I come back to him and I said, so you're coming at this from a Christian perspective, considering the stories told in the Bible to be true, and that women was made from man, instead of all physical evidence that women gave birth to all humans. All, right? You also consider domestic labor and raising children to be quote unquote soft. And you also consider working outside of the home to be quote unquote harder than working in the home. And you somehow think a woman slaving away, unpaid, with her work devalued, is preferable to her just going out there and earning the money herself and foregoing all the stuff in the middle. Because remember, the soft life is you at home. Remember, the soft life is you at home busting your hump over a washing machine, over some hot stove, a damn dishwasher, or your hands busting out the moisture from your skin, washing them doggone dishes while you got kids screaming, mama, mama, pulling on your legs, trying to put knives inside the doggone outlet, and taking off their pamper, throwing it on the wall, smearing this, hollering, punching each other, going into the cabinet. How many of you remember when your children were about 2, 3 years old, maybe even younger, and they were going into the cabinet, pulling everything out, going into bathroom, rolling down all of the toilet paper. Speaking of bathroom, knocking on the door, trying to get in, jiggling the knob so that you don't even have a few moments to wipe your vagina in peace. The children are out there banging, mommy, mommy. They're out there going crazy and wild. You can't leave them alone. You can't take a bath, a shower. You can't sleep. Nothing. 24-hour a day. 24-hour a day service to other people, service to him. And then after you finish doing all of that, your hair is fried and ragged, your body is tore up, you're tired, blood sugar low, you're breastfeeding and your damn bones is now brittle, teeth are getting ready to fall out because you ain't eating well. Then you get into the bed to lay down for just a moment of respite. Then here he come, tapping on your shoulder. Come on, come on, come on. Poking up behind you. Talking about you've been at home all day. So your contribution is devalued. They don't see the value in what it is that you're doing at home. The hundreds of thousands of dollars that they save from you taking on all of those jobs. But then when time comes and they want to leave, they don't even want to support the children, let alone pay alimony, because it's your labor that afforded for him to be able to go out there and work outside of the home. Why doesn't he take his ass and stay inside the home doing all of that while you go out and work? Why don't he do that? But no, he won't. He's talking about the soft life, but is he offering you a nanny? Is he offering you a chef to cook? He's talking about massages and exercise. The exercise you get is running after a child that has pulled something off the dresser and everything is falling onto the floor. That's the exercise that you get. The exercise that you get is lifting up heavy bags of laundry while having to lift a child on the other side. That's your exercise right there. Spa, that's the heat from the damn hot water of the dishes flying into your doggone face as you're turning around, and the steam, the hot pot of noodle is splashing that steam up onto your face. That's your sauna right there. That's your facial. Or your face over a hot pot of spaghetti with that steam flying up at you. Hot oil popping all around the place. That's your sauna. The soft life he's talking about, with your nails brittle and broken from all of that dish detergent liquid. Come on. He's not offering you any help because you're the help. He's telling you right now, you to help him meet whatever arbitrary goal it is that he says that he needs help with. Why not forego all of that and just doggone cut out all of that? If you want to have a child, there are ways. And then you can control the number of children that you have if that's the way that you want to do it. Or you can go a different route like many of us are going. Yeah. They don't want to talk about that. That's why they're trying to convince you back into servitude. You know what? Listen, it is time for our dance break. I'm going to get into the rest of this because he went on and I didn't read the rest. There's a lot. Oh my gosh, how long is this? You know what? You're going to have to go over there and read the rest of it yourself. Let me finish this one paragraph and then we're going to go into the next post because I put up the post with the event that I'm having, and I want you to see what it is that he had the nerve to comment on that. So let me finish this, and then we're going to go to our dance break. So I said, and you also consider working outside foregoing all the stuff in the middle. Okay. You also didn't say how any of this stuff would help me specifically. Like, you think I would rather cohabitate with a man who thinks women's jobs is to help meet for him, birth all these children, and slave away in the home unrespected with no money of my own? That's the thing they don't want to talk about, how you're kept in slavery. You have no money of your own. And if you decide not to do as he say, up it how he likes for it to be up, or do a birth. How many of you saw how many of you saw the news report about that woman who was unalived by her male partner because she didn't want to have more children? So he just killed the womb altogether? What do you, like, come on. So if you don't do things exactly how he wants it, then you out on the street, another woman is moving in, or like B. Smith. She moving in while you still there, unwell and unable to do for yourself now at this point. So I go on to say, birth all these children and slave away in the home unrespected with no money of my own, no education, question mark, no other purpose, question mark, than to be capital letter used for what I can give and how I can serve with my body, time, genius, energy, and inspiration, because that's the part that they don't want to talk about, how your feminine energy is an inspiration to them, how it gives them purpose and reason for living, that they suck and siphon from you like a succubus, that you're there like the pig down on the ground with a bunch of little piglets suckling from you, bleeding you dry. Bleeding you dry. All right. So then I go, what is the true benefit for women in this scenario? I know how the man benefits, but I'm not seeing what the ultimate benefit is for women. I don't see the benefit for ME. I don't. And then I have a few more comments on there. So after our dance break, we are going to read those comments. The Cash App is open if you want to send a message through on the Cash App. It's $ Tonya TKO. So let's find us a nice little song to move to. It's still early. I just want you all to get up and just move a little bit, right? A little bit. I know it's early, but I need you to just move, okay? So all right, listen. None of my cash flow, none of my calls are gold. Digital dash on hold. Come on, get up out your seat and just move a little bit. None of my calls are gold. Digital dash on gold. Cash digital, digital dash digital. Go, go, digital, digital. Digital. Cash digital, digital. Dash digital. Run it up. Digital. Listen. Digital. Stepping like Marty McFly, stepping out for like a guy. I got them looking like why. I never doubted me why. I never doubted my guys. You know you in it for win. I stand on 10, you on 10. I don't have friends of a friend. Only the fan that can. Only my wife and my kids. That's all I needed to win. Now I only trust my true friends. Had to cut off my loose ends. You know I win if you win. You know you win if I win. I swipe that cash, don't fold. I swipe my bank on gold. Don't think that I've been dumb. I spend like I've been broke. Get out of your seat. Come on. This is not just for me, this is for you. So get up, come on. Hey. None of my cash is full, none of my cars are gold. Digital dash on gold. Cash digital, digital dash digital. Go, digital. Digital. The cash digital, dash digital. Run it up. Digital. Living my truth, no tricks. I'm just trying to feed my kids. I'm just trying to keep my wife. I'm just trying to live my life while we get rich. My business. Money gon' come, some go. Man, if you know, you know. I've been through highs and lows. Here for the ride, I go. We only got like a minute left. Up and down, but I get up. The numbers crunching, no sit-ups. I grew up and got dripped up. If anything, purple label my get up. That's one-on-one, I'm one and done. Month to month, this is for your health. I told Cushy, let's run it up. Now it's millions on millions. Come on. Come on. None of my cash is full, none of my cars are gold.
None of my cars are old. Digital dash and gold. Cash and digital.
I'm trying to get really good.
Dash digital. Go, go, go.
But
Digital.
you can see
Digital.
from my surgery
Cash and digital.
that I do
Run it up.
have
Digital.
more
Digital.
energy. Come on. Oh, that went by quickly. All right. All right. That was good. Okay. Somebody talking about get it, Tonya. You need to be up getting it, not just watching me. All right. Whew. All right. Whew. Somebody else talking about get it. No. You're supposed to be up too. Whew. Okay. All right. So this would be the time that I would read the apples, but I don't see. I need to drink some. I need water. All right. Are you enjoying the show so far? If you are, put a thumbs up the video. Let me know what you think. If you're learning something, let me know. Monique says I'm still in bed. Baby girl, we are all in bed. I'm in bed right now too, in my mind. But you can pull your leg behind you and stretch a little bit. You can just move your arms around, because at the end of the day, you need to have 150 minutes of exercise per week. How many are you getting? So this right here was a 2-minute. How long was that song? It was 2.5 minutes. So that is a part of the exercise that we are building up towards our weekly minimum. Okay? So let's remember to always go get it, okay? Go get it and take care of yourself. If you want to know more information about the event that I'm having, the link is in the description. Before we get into the rest of the thing, I'm going to show you. So let us, where is my page? Oh, okay. I know I'm getting better, stronger each day, each week I get stronger. So I'm happy about that, because we know where I was, a few months ago. And there are some people out there, some content creators that are making fun of me for needing my healing after my surgery. And I'm like, don't ever make fun of someone for being unwell, because the universe brings understanding to us all. So I feel sorry for the persons who are doing that. That's crazy. All right. So if you ever want to know a song that's in my video, just Shazam it. All right. So here, this is the page, and so that was my thing. So that was my community tab on YouTube, and so this is the page on my website. And so these are the things that we're going to be doing at the event. It is, the text is so small on this computer screen. However, go on your phone or on your device, you're able to look at it a little bit larger. And so the purpose is for you to let go of hurt, release emotional pain, forgive yourself and others, erase self-doubt, increase self-love, find your voice, find your purpose, earn more money, and make lasting friendships. So this is the page right here. It has the information that you need on it. So go there. The link is in the description. It's called New Self. That's the name of the event. It's called New Self. And it is designed for you to come away with your new self. Let me see if I can make this smaller. Here we go. Okay. So let me see if so you see once it's smaller, the text gets larger. So let me show you some of the modalities that we're going to be doing there. So the purpose is to release past emotional pain, step into your power/purpose without suffering a second longer. Reveal, rewrite, and reprogram. Reset your life. And so it's going to be December 14th in New York City. It's in Midtown near Madison Square Garden. And there's an FAQ at the bottom of the page. And I need to go through this piece by piece. You have big dreams, but you procrastinate, self sabotage from self doubt and limiting beliefs. You're hurt from past betrayals and want to erase the pain and forgive yourself for poor choices. Your negative self talk discourages you, and old habits creep back in. You want to walk away from situations that don't serve you, release the hurt, and be free. You know you can't change others, but you're ready to change yourself. Those are the people that I want. If you're ready to change yourself, I want you to look into coming to this event. So we're going to be doing hypnotherapy, neurolinguistic programming, self theory. We're going to be doing meditation, guided imagery, sound therapy. We're going to have sisterhood, trivia and fun activities, and some games and prizes. We're going to be there all day. And we're going to really dive into some things. I explain all of the modalities and I tell you all my story. Look at your girl right there. Look at Big Mama. Look at me. Look at me. So yes, so we're going to be doing that, and I want you all to just take a look and just this is one of my favorite pictures right there. I love it so much. So if you're interested, the link is in the description of this video. I will put it here for you all. Copy and paste. There we go. So you should have the link on all platforms that we're broadcasting live on. Go there and have a look for yourself and take the time. You know, when we were talking about mothers a little bit earlier, far too many mothers just don't think that they're worth it. They'll invest in their children. You'll invest in your kids. You'll get them whatever it is that they want, buy them the things that they need. But when it comes to you, you don't want to put aside the money for yourself. It's an indulgence. It's too much. It's at the baseline of all of that is self-worth. What is it that you feel that you're worth investing into yourself to get to where it is that you want to be? I know for me, when I created those shifts for myself, other things in my life changed as well. You saw me dancing back there, and in the heat of the hardest parts of recovering from my surgery, I told you all that I had extreme levels of depression, right? In the hardest parts of it, I had to really dig down deep inside of myself. And when I did the self theory on myself, I realized that there was faulty thinking about who it is that I thought that I was. And when I came up with who it is that I wanted to be, and I rewrote that, things changed. Like, exercising is different now. When I get up to exercise, the enthusiasm that I go to exercise with, it's different because I'm different. And I want you all to get and become the different version of yourself that you want to be. I want that for you, and that's why I'm doing this event. And so, somebody's behind in the video. And so, go look into it, click on the link, you know, read it if it resonates with you. Like, if you know that it is time, because I want people who are motivated to change. If you know that it's time, if you are willing to have the humility to say, I'm ready for a change, I'm ready for things to be different, I'm ready to change me. And if you know that you are worth investing in, if you know that you are worth doing something that you know is aligned with where it is that you want to go, please look into coming. Find a way. Find a way. Because there's a way. Find a way. Find a way. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know what it's like. I told you all I went on a retreat last weekend. And I know what it's like to, first of all, I know what it's like to go on a path to meet new people. And even if there's like a bunch of people in the room, you just really resonate with one or two or whomever, and you just really vibe and click, and you stay in touch and you communicate and you grow with one another. You never know where new friends may come from. And so I know what it's like to humble myself, to speak my truth out loud. I know what it's like to open myself to change. And so I know what it's like to invest in myself, and I know how good it feels. Let me tell you, there's a high that you feel when you know that the investment that you're making is in yourself and getting what it is that you need and where you want to go. All right. So let's continue forward in what we were discussing here. All right. So this was the page that we were on where the guy, and let me see if there's any more that I need to read on this page, because so what do women, okay, here. So I asked him, and then we're going to go to his new post because I want you all to see this. And if you have questions about the event, write them inside the comments. I'm here to answer any of your questions. So then I ask him, I say, you didn't address any of my points. One, you think raising children and domestic servitude is a quote unquote soft life. Two, you think work outside of the home is harder. Three, what do women truly gain from helping to meet a man's purpose / passion and not her own? Four, are you getting this woman a nanny, a cook, so she can live the soft life? They never want to answer that question because that's not a part of the equation. You are the nanny, the cook, the surrogate, the womb. You're all of this stuff, right? Oh, he came back and said, I'm not a Christian, I'm a Jew. And I say to him, there's a lot of people commenting on there, but I'm just going to read mine. And I say false. See, well, he's saying some stuff. Tonya, too bad you don't have a spiritual connection with our Lord. There's so many women today wishing they could have a soft life because they traded selfish gratitude and admiration for never-ending debt, useless university degrees. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? So this time it's, oh, why don't you just cut back to just one class a semester? Then now he comes back to say that the university degrees are useless. Surprise, surprise. Endless daily struggles and life-threatening health issues. Actually, listen, women in relationships are the ones who are developing this dis-ease from being paired with men who are not upholding their end of what it is that the women were promised. And so I say false. Every word you're reading in the Torah was changed from its original language and thus context. And the difference between religion and spirituality is religion is on a lower tier. Religion claims to have found the answer where spirituality has humility to continue to test theory in search of ultimate truth. Some people in religion are spiritual, and not all spiritual are religious. Religion has dogma, rules, and community. Spirituality is individual and internal. I am spiritual, non-religious. Your Lord is not our Lord. And the fact that you're trying to force that on others shows it's not the ultimate truth. The truth, please. So then I go and I say, you never answered my question about a nanny. Oh, he must have come back and said some stuff. Ugh. You never answered my question about having a nanny and chef for your wife and maid for the real soft life. Or are you considering her slaving away domestically to be softer than going out for work? I'd rather work and go to school than live that servitude and disrespectful slavery you're proposing. It's men who are selfish pushing this onto women, claiming it's for her benefit when you're the one with the soft life, live-in maid, cook, child rearer, and sex slave. And then I think that's when I stopped and he wrote some other stuff. I didn't go back to read it and I'm not interested in reading it now. I want you all, if you are so inclined, to go and read that for yourself. But this is what he decided to post on my week 7 at an Ivy League. And so let's go back to here. So this is the post that I put up last night. innocently telling you all about my event, telling you to come out. Oh, wow, what's this? Okay, so here he come again. Here he come when no one asked him. Here he come. Here he come. I didn't read these. I'm reading these for the first time with you because I put that post up last night and then I went to bed to get my soft life on the pillow, right? And so he says, a woman cannot be complete real woman without her man, and a man will not be complete without his woman. What does this have to do with my post? And he wrote, this is why I decided to do this video this morning. This is why right here. Let me see if I can make this smaller for you all. Okay, this is why I decided to do this video right here. There is an uptick of modern day single independent women who are homeless, many suffering from mental illness or drug abuse, right? And someone came back and said, not every independent woman. That doesn't really even hone in on the point. And then he says, guess who's the largest demographic being evicted? Oh, this is too high. You can't see it on the screen. Okay, there we go. Guess who is the highest demographic being evicted? And I looked at that data during the pandemic, and I actually spoke about that on one of my posts. The way that I spoke about it was insensitive because I feel like we as women really need to focus in on our issues and really helping to solve these issues than some of the effery that we're doing online. I could have said it in a better way, but I really feel that way, truly. He need to be in men's business, but he's over here trying to convince us to go back into servitude. So then here he go. Mental escapism will not help with the rent and the reality of struggling through life. Men and women need each other, especially in the Black community. So this is what they're trying to sell to you. They're trying to sell you going back into servitude, right? They're trying to sell you going back into slavery now that women are waking up. Forbes says that by 2029, 45% of women are going to be single and child-free. And the people in this country, the men just can't handle it. You see, that's why they're putting all these restrictions that they'd rather you die. They'd rather you die than not have forced children brought into the world. This is unbelievable, right? And he says a bunch of different stuff. You should do the research like I did. I did the research, hun, and you know what it is? Yeah, Black women are the largest demographic being evicted, but you know, they're also the largest demographic with men who have abandoned them with children. Part of the reason that these women are losing their minds and going on to substances is because they're trying to numb from all of the pain that they feel from being abandoned by the person who pumped them full of kids, that they're out here in this life that they didn't plan on living because they had already most likely had a hard life that made him seem like a feasible option to begin with. And then he turns around, ups and abandons her with these children and doesn't want to provide her with any financial assistance. This is why she's being evicted. Take a look at it. Single, independent women are not the ones being evicted. It's the women who are straddled, the women who are burdened, the women who are under the weight of having to care for your children alone with no help during the pandemic. It created a cycle of Black women with children being evicted. You do not see Black women who are living this free, child-free life. You don't see them being the ones that are evicted because they're out there doing the damn thing. They're living their lives. They're going to school. They're making their money. They're traveling. They're doing what it is that they need to do for them. It's the women who do not have mobility. Part of the reason that I went to that retreat last week and I went last minute is because I am free to do so. Because when I was talking about the retreat and going away for a week and I was talking to women and interviewing them, there were so many women that could not get away for a week. There's no one to watch the children and they don't trust anybody to watch the children, so that now it's just them. That's it. Nobody else. Their girlfriends are working too and in the same damn situation. And here he comes trying to conflate the two issues. Doesn't he see that it's him and his ilk, Men like him who got women into that situation to begin with. That's why I'm doing this video here today. Oh, we forgot to put our timer on. Here. Let's get that timer started up. So then there's a bunch of comments on here. Listen, women, if you are really ready for a change, please come to my website, take a look at the page, read it if it resonates with you. Let's get this party started. All right. So by the time I woke up this morning, oh, he's written back to me since I've written. Here we go. Let's read this for the first time together and let him come and see that we are live. You don't see him in the comments, do you? So let's go. I say, the big cheese, as you know, I'm a grad student of psychology. I'm learning about complex PTSD, which is CPTSD, and some of the issues that lead to mental breaks. The majority of Black women being evicted that you mentioned have children and past trauma from things directly related to the patriarchy. What lie did I tell? That is 100% unadulterated, uncut truth right there. Then he comes back. My watch is asking me if I want to turn off sleep focus. Don't you see I'm dancing and all this other stuff? Turn it off, baby. It says good morning. Can you see that? It says good morning to all of us. So good morning, y'all. Good morning. Thank you for waking up with me and spending this time together with me. So he comes back and we're reading this together for the first time here on the show because I went live and I said I was going to go live. I said, I'm about to do a video. So I really wanted to do this video before he deleted his comments, but thank goodness he didn't delete them. So here we go. Tonya, I look forward to seeing your next video. Baby, we live right now, son. You probably still in bed, right? So anyway, he says, I look forward to seeing your next video. I hope you take into consideration that the majority of women are not married and do not vet these so-called male abusers before having children with them. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you brought that up. Let's talk about vetting. Let's talk about vetting. And let's talk about what leads to these women being in these situations to begin with. Let me just tell you this. I had an epiphany yesterday. No man can truly say that he is a protector of women if he is not actively working on dismantling the patriarchal system that we have right now. Because by the very essence of us remaining in this situation, women are unprotected. The patriarchal system is what creates, like I said, there are vloggers who will tell you that the way that men behave is inherent in their being, that it's a part of their biology. No, it's a part of sociology. The people who have done the research, the researchers, the people who are learned and scholarly, not people who dropped out of school and are coming with half information and couldn't cut it in a program and got no certification. No. Those people are giving you, I don't know what's going on with that, but go to the people who have gone through the research, who have done the work and have tested it for its faults, because the scientific theory demands testing. And according to the scientists who have studied this, the reason men behave the way that they behave is not some inherent flaw in them as beings. It is the patriarchal thinking that has infested them in the same way that blacks and whites were in a system in which black people felt inferior. On the flip side of that, white people have felt superior. And this is why we are in the issue that we're in right now with this push-pull in this election season. Go vote. Go vote. Yeah. So this is part of the reason that we're in this era right now of these men losing their ever-loving minds because they really don't know what to do with when women wake up. They don't know what to do with when women unplug from this matrix. And the sad part is that men need to see that it's in their best interest to unplug as well, because we have a lot of toxic thinking that is going on out there where men are in denial about just how toxic this situation is, where women are used as pawns for the fodder and appreciation of other men. that men are using women. So these men, number one, and we've talked about this already, and there's a post that I need to put up exposing this man who said if she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed. And he has young daughters too. So somebody need to go check on them. I'm going to put that post up hopefully today. Because when I read that, I said, what the F? But nonetheless, let's continue going forward. Oh, my lips look so pretty. This is TKO Skin Vegan Makeup. Yeah, love it. Nonetheless, the patriarchy breeds a predatory nature into men where they will do whatever it takes to lie, kill, steal in order to get to the top. Everything within their means to do. And women are the pawns in this game that men are playing with other men. Men understand, by and large, the typical man seems to understand, by and large, how to prey on women. They practice and they hone it, and they understand that the younger a woman is, the more malleable her mind, the less experience she has. You keep hearing these unqualified people on podcasts talking about how they want a malleable woman, a woman who can be influenced and molded by him. This is what they go for. Let me just tell you, and this is part of the reason that I'm doing this event. Many of us were harmed before we even left our homes. We were programmed for the abuse. We were programmed for the faulty thinking that led us out there into the streets in the first place. Unprotected, programmed, uncovered, right? And so these women who were harmed in their homes go out into the street, and they're young and they're dumb. Their brain is not fully formed. And these men, on average, like to date women who are 7 to 10 years younger. The best relationships, the ones that last the longest and are the healthiest, have an age gap between 2 to 4 years. That's it. That's it. But these men like to go much younger. Why? And they keep talking about younger and younger because they know that that prefrontal cortex is not fully developed. They know that the woman, that the gray matter and white matter of her brain are still interchanging places, and that her adult brain is not fully formed, that she is more susceptible. Let me tell you, that's how they got the saying, you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. If you know that sentence, go ahead and throw up a 1 if you know what it is that that means. A woman isn't going to fall for the same tricks twice. And so they have to go younger and younger to get these women who have not been tricked by these men. This is how it all happens. They go out there already damaged and bruised. And then here comes a man. How is a young woman just out of high school supposed to know how to vet a lying, scheming, manipulative, well-trained 30-year-old man? You know, these men keep talking about how their preference is a woman who's 19 because her mind is developed. She's fully grown. But you don't see these same men hanging around 19-year-old young men. Why? Aren't these 19-year-old brains fully formed and developed? Then why don't you have any 19-year-old friends as a 50-year-old man? Why aren't you doing the same things that these 19-year-old young men are doing? Why aren't you getting your tutelage and wisdom from the 19-year-olds, huh, 50-year-old? Why aren't you doing that? You notice how they only talk about the maturity of the 19-year-old girl, but you don't see them with 18 and 19-year-old male friends. They don't, because they understand the difference in perspective. The difference between a 50-year-old and a 19-year-old is a person who was born in the 70s and a person who was born in 2005, is it? What year was a 19-year-old born in? Tell me, because my math is off right now. Right? So it's like they are constantly exposing the foolishness and the effery of their thought. So they go out there and they specifically, I have read many pimp books. And pimps target women who have a certain type of trauma. Women who were touched as girls. Actually, they're targeting girls who were touched, abused, molested, discarded, because the cracks in the esteem are already there. They've already been programmed and primed for a person like him to come in. The internal continence, that internal compass is already geared towards what it is that the pimp is coming in to say and do. So these men, in this, listen, they want to call it a patriarchy, but many are saying it's a pimparchy. And you can see how these men are not really interested, by and large, in being these providers and protectors. If they really were, they would work on dismantling the patriarchy. But no. You see, they worship pimps. Pimps. They want to use and exploit women. They want to use you for your resources while they sit back, sucking in between their teeth, showing other men just how good they got it. Look at all these B's I got. That's what they're looking for. It doesn't seem like they're really interested in being faithful, good husbands and human beings. This is why they get so angry at Russell Wilson, because the goal is never for it to be about something that benefits you. Nah, the goal is for them to extract all your resources and for it to be about them. So they find young women. What is it that you're not effing getting? These women are not well adjusted. These women have issues. They came out of the house with issues. This is how they ended up in this situation, looking for some comfort, looking to be saved, looking and hoping that what this man is telling her is the truth. And then he came to be just another one of her abusers and users. And then he left her with some kids and then came right back around when he saw her on her way up to deposit another baby in her. And this is why they do not want you to be able to excavate your womb and get rid of clumps of cells that have the potential in 9 months to become a human being, and then weigh you and hold you down and back from being able to go forward. How many of you out there got caught up that way? If you have, go ahead and put up the number 1. That you got caught up believing something that somebody said, and then the next thing you know, here you go, tied down, and then they are blowing in the doggone breeze. They're blowing in the wind. They're gone back to you, out the doggone door. And then what recourse do you have? And how many of you know that when the woman is on her way up and they see that you are rising and going up, then that's when they come around and say, oh, baby, don't you want that soft life? Let me provide it for you, bitch. Let me tell you something. It is in me seeing your fuckery and your foolishness that I know that what you're saying is a goddamn lie. You want to talk about vetting, bitch? I read your words and I saw between the lines, hun. And I know that you are the one who is fucking lying. Oh, I vetted you, bitch. Let me calm myself down. I vetted you and I saw that you wasn't about shit. You aren't. Unfortunately, you're coming here thinking that you're one of the fucking good guys and you're the one trying to trap her back into servitude. I peeped you from the very first interaction, son. I peeped you. This is how I have never gotten caught up with any kids and illegitimate this and that. I have not. And I have exercised my right and freedom. I have. This is how I'm free today. Yeah. So if you have been caught up like that, put up a number one. Put up a number two if when you started to excel and climb up and get out, when the kids started getting a little bit older and they were more autonomous and could move on their own so that they could kind of stay in the house by themselves and you could do different things and you were on your way up. Here comes him back again when he sees you rising. Put up a number two if it was him who came back or another one who saw you were on your way up, saw how you raised functional, healthy kids, and then they were like, oh man, yeah, let's do this together. Or something like this. Oh, don't you want the soft life? I vetted you. I peeped your nonsense. What you're speaking is a lie. You have nothing. You have nothing in mind for her but servitude. You can't wait for my next video? Here it is, son. Here it is. All right. So let's go back. Oops, let's go back here. So then he comes back and says, there was a time in the Black American community that most women who were seeking marriage, the male suitors would have to seek permission from her father or male elder in the family. That's another one of the mother effing problems right there, that men were selling women. When you go to read this book, it's a heavy, big, complicated book. But in this book, she talks about in the very beginning, I'm only this far in right there. In the very beginning, she talks about how men privatized women's labor. The labor that women did was for the community. We hunted, we gathered. Let me tell you, 60% of the food that the tribes ate were hunted by women. 40% children and men, right? So women were going out there catching most of the food, the small game. Women and children, they had bows and arrows, they were hunting, and men would go out on these long treks. This is how we got into the situation that we're in now. But nonetheless, the selfish nature of man in these burgeoning patriarchies privatized women's labor to get them in his home and his home alone, instead of it being a community effort, because in the tribe, it's about the community. This is how this began on its way to the descent, right? So the male suitors would have to seek permission from the father or male elder of the family. This is when we started installing this hierarchy onto men. Who are you to trade a woman? Who are you? This was actually something that was handled, the matchmaking in the family was initially handled by women. Women who understand about what's that word? Compliments. What is it? Understand when two people get along. What's that word? Not companionship. It has something to do with compliment. When they are compatible. Yes. All right. It is women who understand compatibility and relationships and what will make a good relationship work. When we started exalting the voice of men, when men decided to take these things over, it turned into selling girls for dowries. It turned into selling them younger and younger. It turned into selling child brides. And it turned away from anything that had anything to do with compatibility. Instead, it was just about her youth, beauty, fertility for the highest price. It didn't matter how the hell he treated her. You know how many girls tried to run back to their tribes because the man was doing her dirty, wasn't doing her right? But this is another way that we got into this. They used to trade men. This is part of the reason it's important to listen to people who are educated on a subject. Men used to be the ones that were traded, not daughters. They used to trade men because men are the ones with the utility. They're the ones out there to do the damn heavy lifting and labor. But you know what happened? You know what happened? Because the men were the ones who went out for the big game, they were used to traveling far and wide. And they could make their way back to their damn tribe when they were traded off to another tribe. They can make their way back. But when they privatized women's labor and put it inside the home, the girls and women did not travel far from the tribe, so that when they were traded to another tribe, they did not know the route back home. And what they would do is trade them further and further because these girls were running back. The unions were not good. Even today in modern day Africa, the amount of women that are in marriages where they have to come back to their tribe and be into their home base and be like, look, this man is not what you all said he would be. And then the mothers, the fathers, they tell them, you got to go back. He is your husband now. That's your family there. Men have not done a good job throughout the ages of pairing women up in healthy, good relationships. They haven't. What do men do? They could barely get into damn good relationships, their doggone selves, right? So then he comes back and he says, the biggest problem in modern day Black community is losing proper protocols and respect. You mean where only men are respected? Where the voice of men is respected? You know what? I wanted to show you all something. We have a few moments before I wanted to show you this. Because women, we need to do a better doggone job. We really do. We need to do a better job because we're playing ourselves out here in these streets. I need to show you this piece, right? But you know what? This is going to require another deep dive. So let us stop this clock and get up to do another dance break. Let us go to some music. Let's get this off the screen. Let's go to some music. And then we're going to dive into something that I need for you to see. Where's my music? Here it is. Here it is. Let's see. All right, you know what? Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, come on. Get up out your seat or stretch in your bed. I want you to get your heart rate up or stretch or do something, right? All right, come on. Come on. All right, listen. Invest in yourself. This song is 3 minutes. Come on. Hey, come on. Come on. Hey! 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 All right. Woo. Oh my goodness. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. Man. That is something else. Man. That felt really good. That felt really good. And my watch clocked my exercise. So I got 6 minutes of exercise under my belt. And then I'm going to go do my workout once I get off of here. When I tell you, when I did that self-theory and hypnosis, self-hypnosis on myself, it really changed my perspective about so much. It's like I'm different, so the things that I do are done different naturally. So there we go. There we go. All right. So let us, who was that? Rains talking about beautiful, you working out, baby. You need to be up working out with me. Speaking of calling you baby, I shouldn't have called that man all types of B's. I didn't have to do that. I apologize. I didn't have to do that. I was caught up in the moment, and I didn't have to call him all types of B's. I didn't. I didn't have to do that. I guess I was just frustrated in that moment, but I can do better and be better than that. I can. I really can. So, because I don't want to start a conversation like that, and I want to, have respectful discourse. So my bad. All right. Nonetheless, here we go. I wanted you all to see this video because I think that it really, I want you to pay attention and I want you to be honest with yourself. Oh, somebody sent through some apples. Let me see what okay. All right. Let me see. I'm accepting them in now. All right. So it says, let's show the apple here. So Alana sends through $1.50 and says, wish it was more about self-toxified, everyone thinking. Let's see what the other one says. Okay, about others only for themselves. So let's see that again. Wish it was more about self-toxified, everyone thinking about themselves. I wish it was more about self. Toxified, everyone thinking about others only for themselves. Okay, listen, I feel you on that. Okay, so let us here. All right. So this video, I want you all to just really pay attention. I don't understand where my second screen has gone. Oh, here it is. How did it get over there? This is supposed to be here. All right. All right, so I want you all to see this because it's an important video to see. And I want us to be honest with ourselves, okay? Can we be honest with ourselves while watching this video? All right. Okay. No, he's not even going to get a chance to speak. He's not going to get a chance to speak. So don't worry. I want you all to see what happens because this is talking about women's rights. And I want you to see this. Listen.
Pro-abortion stance is morally indefensible.
Yeah, his voice is whiny and terrible. So I want you to see this epic takedown. So bear with me while we go. He's not going to get a chance to speak, but listen.
Kamala Harris's extreme pro-abortion stance is morally indefensible.
Let me start that again because I don't know what happened, because I might want to put this video on the clips channel and I don't want foolishness interrupting. So let me move this up right here. All right.
Kamala Harris's extreme pro-abortion stance is morally indefensible. Wow, okay, we're gonna take this chair. Look at that.
Hey, Ben.
Like a bro, my friend. All right.
I'm a transgender man.
Okay.
I've experienced SA.
Okay.
And abortion rights affect me directly. So, if we're talking about the American dream that you live, why don't I have access to that? Because there's no legislation, in the history of America, that legislates a man's body, so why does mine have to be legislated?
All right, so I want us to pay attention. What is it that we notice right here? What is one of the first things that we notice? I want us to talk about what it is that we notice here, and then we're going to jump back into the video. So this person is a trans man, and this person says, I've got a vagina.
I've got a vagina.
All right, and look at Ben's face. Look at it. What is it that you notice? What is it that you notice? I need us to speak up about this, right? I need us to talk about this because I need us to look at our internal programming, because when I saw this for the first time, I was shooketh. I was shook, but not for the reasons that you may think, right? So come on, talk. We're here live, so come on, let's talk. Oh my goodness. Come on, I want you all to add to the conversation. What is one of the first things that you knew what was one of the first things that you noticed about this interaction? I can play it back again on the screen for you without sound, right? We can go through piece by piece, right? So, because I want you all to see what is going on here. I want you all to see what happens, right? So I believe Ben is talking about abortion and asking for people to come. What is it that you see happening right here? What do you see happening? Danny says, my mind is processing. Okay. What about somebody else who has processed this already? So you see there's a chair. There's a guy right here with some khaki pants on and a blazer running to the chair. There's a guy right here running to the chair. There's somebody right here, someone right there running to the chair, and somebody right there. What do you notice, right? Okay. One of the first things that I notice is that this person bogarts their way through. They bogart. Look, he's like, oh man, this person gets the chair swiped out from them. This person realized he's not going to get there in time. The other people have turned back, right? And then this person gets the chair. The other ones are walking away now, right? And the person grabs the chair. And what is the first thing that this person does? This person goes to sit on the seat backwards. And what does Shapiro do? You see this person sits down, and look at Shapiro, shoulders hunched, sitting forward, right? He is humbled by this person's testosteronic display. And then he says, oh, like a bro, because he's sitting on the chair, or this person is sitting on the chair backwards. So there's this instant level of respect, because now they're jockeying to see who is more alpha, right? So he's like, let me turn up the volume, because when the person sits down in a chair, this is how he goes.
Look at that.
Hey, Ben.
Like a bro.
You hear that, right? Look at that. Like a bro. Okay. So he sees a person with a beard, big body, not muscular, but big body, snatching this chair from all of the other men in the room and sitting down on it backwards. Whoa, look at that, like a bro, right? Because in the patriarchy that we have set up, men respect other men. I want you to listen to this person's argument, and I want you to see how this argument feels and sounds coming from a face that looks like that, with a voice that sounds like that. Is it more legitimized with a male voice? How many of you know what, we'll talk about that afterwards. I want you to tell me whether or not this my body, my choice argument is more solidified coming from a person with a deep voice and a beard. So listen.
Oh, my friend. All right.
I'm a transgender man.
Okay.
I've experienced SA.
Okay.
And abortion rights affect me directly. So if we're talking about the American dream that you live, why don't I have access to that? Because there's no legislation, what, in the history of America that legislates a man's body, so why does mine have to be legislated? I've got a vagina.
I'm not interested in what your genitalia are.
Clearly you are. I mean, it's all over everything you make,
no,
buddy. I'm sorry. I hate to say it to you, but
I think you can read on my
kind of
face that I
obsession
radically
you
am
guys
not.
have.
I think you can read on my face that I radically am not. When we're talking about
No,
abortion,
I don't. I mean, you can present it here, but in most of the content that you have, you attack my community constantly. And you don't even realize guys like me exist, who actually share a lot of similarities to you and everything, because I'm a married man of 20 years.
I
got a wife.
recognize that you exist. I disagree with your
Right,
claim
so
that you
if
are a
I
male.
was sexually assaulted, right, and I didn't have access to that abortion care, do you believe that I should have carried that child to term because
What does
I
this
was
have to-
sexually assaulted?
Listen, I want us to pay attention to our internal biases. Should a person like this be forced to give birth? When I saw this, I said, how the hell are you going to try to force a person who looks like this to give birth because they were sexually assaulted? What are our internal biases and ideas that we have about male presenting people and the validity of their claims, the claims that are coming from a booming voice, from a bearded face? And I thought when I saw this, hell no, ain't no way in the hell an injustice like this can be pushed onto a person like that, to force a person like that to give birth. A male presenting person who identifies as male, forcing them. But yet, when we see a woman and we hear her soft voice and her femininity and all of that other stuff, we're like, okay, yeah, well, you could get forced. Yeah, you. But how many of us in here are having a visceral reaction to the thought of a person who looks like a man being forced to carry a pregnancy? If you are, put up the number 3. I want to see if you are. Put up the number 3. I want to see, because we are so used to women being second-class citizens. We are so used to women being the second sex. We are so used to men being the authority that we wouldn't dream of pushing our virtues and we wouldn't dream of pushing our point of view onto a man's body. So now here is this person presenting as male. No one should be. But I want us to really dig a little bit deeper than that. I want us to think about the biases that we have about the more legitimateness of men's arguments, of men's bodies, of the governing over women's bodies. Part of the reason I'm saying this is because women, you need to wake the F up. Wake up. Wake up. Because we are sitting around and have been sitting around for far too long acting powerless. No, we aren't. Every single human being here on earth was birthed through a woman's womb. There are people who are talking about Elon is trying to make a robot. Yeah, go keep trying that. Goddess will not allow it, because you know that you have to come through us. We got sci-fi all you want, but ain't no artificial womb going to be able to produce a healthy human. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Lesser beings, perhaps, but not a human being. Not at all. So it reminds me of how performative, rude it was in the days of torture. Tammy says, or Torny says, no lie. All right. So I just want us to pay attention to this argument because we're hearing it from a male voice about women's issues, but about this person's body.
I mean,
No, I just want to make sure that that's what you believe. Because as a transgender man, I have seen your side of the entire political debate, never ever having the conversation of what an American freedom is. Because why am I not allowed to live my American freedom as a man?
I just look at him. He's like, he doesn't know what to do with himself because he's looking at a person who presents very alpha in these dialogues. Look at this person's face. The beard, the deep voice. How many of you respect what it is that this person is saying merely because it's coming with a deep voice? Like somebody said in the very beginning, they didn't want to hear Ben Shapiro because his voice is whiny, and it is. How would this conversation be different if the person sitting there presented as female and had a soft voice? I just want us. So one of my classes is critical theory of trauma. And so I understand how important it is to exercise critical theory. And I need us to pay attention to our internal biases. What would this argument be like if the person sitting there had their long hair with some boobs in the front, cute little form-fitting outfit, maybe a little cleavage even, or not, maybe just a cute little shirt, maybe blazer, with a soft voice talking about, why should you regulate my body? Why should my body be regulated? What would be the difference than the person sitting there and like, why should my body be regulated? With the baritone and the bass, right? What's the difference? What's the difference? How are we programmed and taught to find resonance in the power of the male pitch so that we're like, oh, I better listen. Oh, I better pay attention. There are studies that show that even children start learning very early on to listen to that boom of daddy's voice, that they jump in line. Ladies, what are we doing? I need us to pay attention. This is part of the reason that Margaret Thatcher had to go through voice lessons to deepen her voice so that when she spoke, she would be respected. This is part of the reason that they mock Kamala for smiling and stuff so much, because look at this. This is what they're used to. They want that bark and that bite. They don't want you to have joy and glee and be happy because they don't understand that you can smile and still whoop ass. They don't understand it. But Sandra is saying, I don't think it makes any difference. Unfortunately, if you don't think it makes any difference, you just aren't there yet in terms of really expounding, because the data is very clear. Just because you don't think it makes any difference doesn't mean that it doesn't. I'm asking the question. You know how a woman may ask her man a question and she already knows the doggone answer? I know the answer already. And I'm asking you because I want you to think critically. And anybody else who is saying that it wouldn't make a difference whether a woman is sitting there saying it, you're underinformed. We have been programmed from young to pay more respect to deeper voices. We have been programmed from young to pay more respect to men's words. So when this man talks about vetting, we were taught in this patriarchy to respect man's word. So when a man comes speaking a fucking lie, you as a woman, you've already been programmed in this patriarchy to pay a fucking attention. Listen, Tao is saying, how do I send a message and super chat? You can send it through Cash App. It's $ Tonya TKO. And I used to have a QR code on the screen. Let me see where the QR code is. Where is that QR code? Here it is. So if you scan that QR code with your phone, take a picture, you can, in the picture area, you can zoom in, it'll open up the website where you could just send a Cash App straight through, right? So I'm asking the question, but I already know the answer. True said, I was going to say that Margaret Thatcher changed her voice to a deeper, slower pace. Yes, I know the answer already. I know the answer. We are taught to value men's words, men's opinions, men's beings, men's bodies more than we are that of women. If you even look at the nicknames that women are given, women are getting, let's talk about it. Trollop, cupcake, doll. Women are given nicknames that are tart, these types of things that are sweet and digested easily, fluffy, not of main substance. The nicknames that we give men, beefcake and powerhouse, and in the black community, we did start calling women brick houses. I know that's right, doggone it, because that thickness cannot be denied. But by and large, in most other communities, women are referred to by nicknames that are fluffy, sweet, easily digested, nothing of substance. Whereas men are given these names of continence and substance and holding weight and place in the world. Tiger, go get him. You know what I'm saying? However, we are taught to see women as dispensable. One of the first lessons many people learn from the big book is that a woman was made of an arbitrary piece of a man, not a substantial piece. He didn't have to give up a leg to make woman. He didn't have to chop off his head to make woman. He didn't have to give up his belly, his abdomen, his throat, nothing. Just a little rib on the doggone side, a little rib, right? Yeah, sweetie. Exactly. Hey, sweetie. Right, exactly. Tony's so silly. I'm a brick, house. Yeah. Oh, we didn't put our timer back on. All right. So listen, we're going to be getting out of here soon. I should react to this whole entire video that this person did. However, I just wanted you to see and then to start critically
American freedom
thinking.
is, because why am I not allowed to live my American freedom as a man?
You
get your choice as a man to live and free and all that.
You're really moving around terminology very wildly here.
And so are you, because that's the tactics you play in your game. And you've done it the entire time. You've jumped from one subject to the next. You speak so fast, and I know how you work. So how does it feel to have it in your face?
Well,
Because I'm sick and tired of the shit that you have put against my community, especially black trans women. Because you constantly...
Bringing up some black trans stuff. Listen. So this is what I want you to pay attention to. If it were a woman getting in his face like that, what internal biases of thought would we have about that woman, about the efficacy of her argument, about the viability of her argument? If she was there in his face and she was like, I see how your games play and I see it all the time. I just so happen to be a woman who has a deeper voice. And this could be part of the reason that when I speak, people hear the fuck I got to say. That could be it too. Because if my voice were like this, I wonder how many people would come and be like, yeah, Tonya, if I was like, women, wake up, versus women, you need to wake the F up. Do you hear me now? Wake up. We need to stop allowing people who are ill-equipped to lead to continue to lead us off a damn cliff. How does that differ from, we need to stop people from letting us fall off a cliff? I'm not telling you that you need to have a deeper voice. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that we have to change the standards for what it is that we find viable. In this current construct, I just so happen to be on the better side of things with a deeper voice, but I feel that we need to dismantle this altogether so that women's voices have the same weight and power as any other person's voice. When we talk about equality, we don't talk about trying to take something from somebody else. I don't even talk about equality because I do not believe that a man can be equal to a woman. So I'm just coming from that standpoint. I don't feel that a person who is biologically, who holds that space could be equal to a person who carries life in their womb. This is why they're going around trying to talk about without sperm, you wouldn't have the spark of life. Without this womb, there would be no life. And that spark can come in a tube, frozen, but this womb cannot. It cannot. They understand our power and our viability, and this is why. This is why they're trying to control us, why they're trying to keep us under wraps, because they know when we wake up from this nightmare, how many of you have heard of what's going on in Afghanistan? How now women's voices, I saw a doggone video, I saw a video of a bunch of women singing for women's rights. And there was a woman there sheathed from head to toe, face, everything. And I was like, is she even singing? I was like, what's going on here? Like, she wasn't even swaying or moving her head. She was just, all I saw was that sheet just swathed over her. And I was like, wow, they have erased any ability for us to see any facial, anything. I didn't even know if she was singing. And I was very uncomfortable watching the video. Like, people were smiling in the video and they were singing, about women's rights. And there was this person sitting there. And I was like, what is really going on? Like, no eyes, mouth, nose, nothing. You couldn't see not a bit of expression. Maybe she wasn't singing because she wasn't supposed to have her voice be heard in public. I don't know. But I think to myself, women, why do you continue to birth the men who are subjugating you? Stop birthing them in this society. And if they try to lay down with you, you know what to do. You better go back to your old apothecary roots and find a way for them to meet their maker permanently. Yeah, I'm not joking. If they're going to sit there using you as a person to cook, I'll bet, baby, you wouldn't trust a damn thing that came out of my kitchen. Oh, no. Because you wouldn't make it. You wouldn't make it. And you're going to lay down there, too. You'd be knocked out and smothered in your sleep. There'd be an uptick of men just dying at night. There would be. Ladies, how long do we continue to birth into oppressive regimes? Like, this system cannot continue unless women continue to give birth in that system. And I understand it's going to take a tremendous amount of courage. It's going to take us thinking outside the box. And Boris is saying, desperate man trying to shame black women into slavery. Please. That is exactly what we're talking about. This is why you are so desperately on my video, hoping to get my attention, hoping to change my words and my mind. I want to show you all something. Let me go to my Facebook page. This is my Facebook page right here. If you don't know it, go check it out for yourself, right? On my Facebook page, I put up the same post yesterday about the event that I'm having. So listen, if you are interested in creating change in your life, if you are interested in doing things differently, please go to my page. I put the link in the description of this video. Come to my page and check it out for yourself. Read it and see if it resonates. If it resonates, I want to see you here in December. Let's do some good work together. Because when we talk about the difficulty of changing, change starts with you first, with you. And so please come with me and let's do the work to change. I showed you all the page. It's called New Self. Go to my website. You can even search online for Tonya TKO New Self. It's there. My page, go to tonyatko.com/new-self. The link is on my community tab. The link is there. The link is in this video. I'll put another link there. So let me see if I still have the link. Okay, there it is. I just put it in for all the people who are new. I just put it there. So I put up this post last night, and I put up this post a few days ago, and I want you to see. There's a person who has come out to comment. Let me see, view more comments. Oh, 6 replies. Okay, here we go. So let me move this back here. Okay. So this person come out and say, feminists who have no advice for good women out there, please right? And I'm like, what's that now? And the person comes back and says, sometimes the person comes out, oh, how do I see all of the comments? Oh, it says most relevant. Let's click to all comments. Okay. Here. Let's see if we can see all now. Okay. Oh, shoot. This thing is not showing me all the damn comments. Here. Here we go. All right. So, since the person comes up and talking about how they trying to shame us into back into slavery, yeah, women were indentured in indentured servitude with our work not even respected. Trillions of dollars a year of unseen labor, unrespected labor that keeps this economy afloat. And they need us to continue to birth the working class because these rich people won't have anyone to be over if everyone is rich. This is the way of capitalistic patriarchy, that men clamber to the top and push down those below, right? So anyway, so the person says to me, I just wish you can encourage women and guide them on how to stay strong in a relationship and teach them the value and integrity of self-handling their relationship if they going to drain. That's all I'm asking, please. And I respond back to this person, sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is take care of themselves and be single. Where's the lie in that? Sometimes that's the strongest. It looks like he's come back because I went to bed early last night and it looks like he came back and says this. I haven't read this. I'm reading this for the first time with you. Well, in that case, you are the one who must stay single. And I wonder why you have that mindset. Please don't discourage lots of our queen who want to have the kings in their lives. Please. Please. They're getting desperate out here. This is why they're coming into women's spaces. You know what? We really need to be able to meet up in a space without their peering eyes. Because they're coming live to my videos because they see that I'm a woman and they think that their words are more furtive than mine. I assure you, son, that they are not. Mother is here speaking. And they're desperate. This is why you don't see me on Manosphere pages. You don't. But you see them constantly on my page, in my channel. They're attracted to me. They can't turn away. I'm like the sun in the sky, shining my light. And they can't help but come hither. I'm telling you, you're not going to find what you're looking for here. Because women are waking up. We're not laying down, taking this any longer, and they're desperate, trying to shame us, convince us, cajole us back into wanted slavery. No. And then Destiny says, get them. This is why they don't want women to be educated. You said a word. This is why man was like, just cut it down to one class a week, and then turned around and said, that's why y'all got all that unnecessary debt for useless degrees. Yeah. This degree got me educated, bub. This degree got me educated. And the work that I am doing, listen, this is not the end of where it is that I'm going. You're going to see where I go from here. Once I fill my coffers, with knowledge, oh, just wait and see what is to come, because I'm putting pieces together. I'm learning a lot and I'm critically thinking. So please, by all means, follow my blog. and follow the journey that I'm going on as I learn and expand. And if you are ready to do the work, please, by all means, look into becoming your new self. Look into branching into a new way of being. Women, we need you. The future starts with you. The future starts with us being different. And if you are ready to be different, go to tonyatko.com/new-self. And let's do this work. Listen, I announced it to the text notification squad behind the scenes first. And so some of the tickets are already purchased. I want you to get yours. Share this with somebody who may need it, because there's going to be some fantastic things going on in that room outside of the prying eye of people who don't want you to change. Oh, I don't want to say much more publicly. Let's continue going forward. Let's continue. Oh, Joanna, thank you for posting the link. I appreciate that. All right. All right. So any questions before we get out of here? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at some of the questions that you all may have. Right? Wait, this degree makes me 3 times more than you make Glocktavius? What in the world is going on out here? Glocktavius, oh my gracious. Let me mind my business right now and just go and turn on some music. Let's listen to some sonic raindrops and let us read some of these comments. Come on, let's talk, come on. Oh, you know what? We have some texts that have come in. Come on. I'm ready, I'm reading your comments, so come on, bring it to me. I thought they got their passports. That's true, why are they still here in my comments? Shouldn't they be overseas with them people giving them benzodiazepines and stuff? Or, listen. No, they dropping like flies once they found out those precious foreign women don't want their ass due. Lord, you all are going for broke. Okay, unknown, loved and missed me. You know what? Join my blog. You can join the text notification squad. We communicate behind the scenes and we meet up with videos behind the scenes as well. So actually, you know what? I'm going to be phasing out the text notification squad as we know it. So we're going to be switching over to an app. Like I told you, this is only the beginning for me and where it is that I'm going. You just wait and see. Once I hone my craft, once I really get this knowledge under my belt, wait and see. All right, let's see what the comments are. What do we do if males are allowed into our bathroom and sports? Listen, we need to speak up and we need to opt out. We need to opt out. We need women to be on the same page, and we need to opt out. Listen, the retreat that I went to, unfortunately, there was no women's bathroom on my floor. There was no women's bathroom on my floor. I went to the men's restroom. I did, and I learned a lot by going to the men's restroom. I learned about the disregard that it takes to encroach upon a person's space like that. So yeah, there was no women's bathroom. There was only gender neutral and men's rooms. So women, this is why we need to speak up. We need to stop having intercourse with the men who are making decisions like this. We need to stop voting for them. We need to write to them and force them to do what it is that we want them to do. So come on, right? We in Brooklyn, son. If you in Brooklyn, are you coming to the event in New York? You talking about Brooklyn, are you coming to the event? Now that I know that, so somebody's saying, I want a new lighter bleached self. Here, let me help you. Let me help you right here. Hey! Come on, get up out your seats. Listen, we're gonna read the apples in a second. Come on. Hey, hey, come on. That person's in the block party. Let's, come on. Hey, 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 come on. Come on. Hey, 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 hey. Oh my goodness. You all are so funny. Oh. Okay, so Tonya says I'll be there at the new self for sure. All right. Oh. You know what? I'm so funny sometimes. That dance I was doing was so funny. You know what? I think the human body is just so amazing. I really loved how rigid those movements were. And then it turned into a nice little soft flow. That was so, oh, that was so good. That was so good. I really, really enjoyed that. So let's read these apples. It's been a minute since I've done this here. Here. You hear that? Hey. All right, so let us read some of these. All right, so Latoya sends $5 and says, what's the name of the book you refer to? I refer to a few different books. This one right here is called The Creation of Patriarchy by Gerda Lerner. This is, I'm finding it to be a difficult book to read because it has an archaic tone. It was also translated, I believe. And so it's a difficult book for me to read. However, it has a lot of great information in there. You read this and you cannot remain the same as a woman. I don't want to gatekeep knowledge. I want us all to have the same knowledge. So this is one of the books. And then I mentioned another book, right? What was the other book that I mentioned? What were we talking about? So it was The Creation of Patriarchy. And then I believe that was the main book we talked about. Thank you. Thank you for... All right. And then so Tiara sends through $10 and says, I got the tea on a trending topic. How can I contact? TonyaTKO.com/contact. You come to my website and contact me directly that way. Okay? All right. So somebody's saying she's pro LGBTQ plus. Don't speak for me, please. Because see, I already called that man all types of B's. I don't want to call you all types of B's too. Let a person ask me and I will answer what my stance is, okay? Because don't speak for me because I feel like I'm about to start cursing you out and I don't want to do that. I want to be better than that. So I'm just telling you how not to get cursed out, okay? Something wrong with me. Let me get this and do some hearts on here. All right. All right. So on that note, I believe that we've covered everything that we need to cover for the time being. And then also, I didn't tell you all this. We discussed this publicly behind the scenes. I'm getting my master's degree in psychology, right? And I just got accepted into a certificate program for women in gender studies where I'm going to be doing a 1 hour spoken dissertation after writing a 25-page paper and going through a selected set, well, not selected, I can choose from the courses that I'm going to take, but I'm doing oh my goodness, these were classes that I would have wanted to take anyway. But now they're going to count towards my certificate in women and gender studies. And so this is what I'm saying. This is only the beginning. I've been online for a long time. So you all have become, used to me here and what it is that we do. And I can feel a shift happening. I know that I'm going to, because the me of the future has 8 books. And so I am moving from where it is that I am now to where it is that I'm going to be in the future. And this is really only the beginning. So listen, let's continue to talk. Let's continue to talk. So I'm going to be putting up my week 8 today. So make sure that you're subscribed to my blog. I'll send you all an email on that too. And so, yeah, exactly. So this is what I'm saying. People cannot speak for me. I support consenting adults doing what it is that they do. Once you start trying to push your rights onto my area, this is when we start having some issues. When you start encroaching upon women's safe spaces. And that now, the last time I went to the spa, they had to have a damn private dressing area because we'll talk about that another time. But listen, I'm going to check the apples one last time. It looks like I got all of them. So I will see you all in the next video. Let's see what song we're going to go out to. All right. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you all so much for coming. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't do our self-love lessons. It's been too long since I've done a video. I forgot about the self-love lessons. Oh, no. We are not getting out of here without the self-love lessons. You all didn't even remind me. I need you to type SLL, right? I need you to type SLL, and I need you to tell me what is your self-love lesson from this video that we did today. Because the reason that I do these videos is not just for shock value and entertainment, it's for education. So we could call it edutainment, right? So I need you to write down SLL and then tell me what's your self-love lesson. Write it from the I, me, and talk from the positive affirmative, what you want. So rather than don't take no man no. I want you to talk about what you do want. So we're not using words like not, don't, never, none of that. We're going to talk about what it is that we do want, right? Okay, let's continue. Come on. Let's get these comments up. SLL. Kamala is biracial at best. Let's not do too much. She's biracial at best. Come on. Because if she were a Stacey Abrams type of black woman, she wouldn't be where it is that she is right now. They would never hand the reins over at this juncture. So let's not forget her privilege of light complexion, thin body, and racial ambiguities. Let's not do that. We're gonna be real about this here. We're gonna tell the truth to ourselves. None of you check Fat Joe. None of you checking Kamala Harris, you haters. Can we have this? It's time for the self-love lesson. Stop this shit. Understanding where I stand on these issues and stand on my principles. Thank you. I'm gonna start putting you all in timeout if you're talking over my board. It is time for the self-love lessons right now. And you do not want to be put in a timeout. You're in a timeout. You're in a timeout. And then QT Gaming is saying, what the F is she talking about? That's why I stopped subbing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you needed to stop subbing. You can go on. There's a certain type of person that I really value over here. And it's not the type of person who feels that just that women's spaces should be encroached upon because a person claims that they're a thing. Stop it. Stop it. Go on about your business. You can go ahead and go back to where it is that you needed to go. As a matter of fact, let me help you. Let me help you! Hey! Yeah! You don't have to come back up! Oh, hey! You could just keep that going. Hey, 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 hey. You could just keep on going with that. Keep it going. Hey, hey. You can unsub. Ooh, 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 ooh. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let me help you. Let me help you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I know the people below and beside me are mad this morning when they thought they was gonna get an extra hour of sleep, and here I am stomping on the floor. Oh. All right. All right. Good morning, everyone. Let's get it. My watch has clocked me of doing 10 minutes of my daily exercise. So I'm happy about this. All right. I'm so happy. We are living in a glorious time in reality right now. We really are. Let us get back into these self-love lessons. Happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is. All right, let's get back into these self-love. Let me see if I can scroll up, because we got distracted. I missed. If you typed your self-love lesson already, go grab your grab your grab your self-love lesson and post it back again. Okay. Go grab your self-love lesson and post it back down again, okay? We're doing our self-love lessons right now, so type SLL. So Life Son says, put people in check when needed and move on with my happy life. Okay, if that's what you want, okay. Okay, listen, you're doing too much. Do the self-love lesson right now. Otherwise, I'm gonna start putting people in timeouts again. All right. You know what? It's not my birthday. It's somebody else's birthday out there. My birthday was in August and you all celebrated with me, remember? All right, so maybe there's another Tonya in the comments and it's her birthday. So it's time for the self-love lessons. SLL, type your, I messed it up by all of the drama. So you know what? Okay, here, we got one coming in. I will focus on my personal growth mentally, physically, and emotionally while building and maintaining quality relationships with successful women with similar values. I love that. I love that. I love that. All right, so let's continue going forward. I'm going to tell you all my self-love. Okay, so SLL, my value, I see the word isn't, so change that self-love lesson around to be what it is that you want. We're not using words like not or don't. So isn't is a conjunction with is not. So the word not is in there. So change it into what it is that you do want. SLL, understanding where I stand on these issues and stand on my principle. Okay, love that. SOL, I will put myself first and be very selective with who has access to me and my energy. Beautiful. Rain says, have time alone to grow and be effective. Okay, I love that too. I love that as well. We do need, in the quiet, the answer forms. So we need that. All right. So let me go ahead and give my self-love lesson. So my self-love lesson from today's video is about honing and sharpening my blade. Sharpening my axe before I go to cut down a tree. So hold on. I see I have the word before in there. So let me switch that around. Let me switch it so that I'm not talking about what I don't want. I'm talking about what I do want. So my self-love lesson is in honing and sharpening my craft, investing in myself, becoming the best that I can be so that I can spread that forward and out to other people. Because when we become better, the surrounding world around us becomes better as well. That is my self-love lesson, that I'm on the right track, that I'm in my purpose and passion by having this quest and thirst for knowledge. Also, by taking the risk of having an event and showing up for you all in a way to help you all create that change inside your lives as well. So I'm so happy to be in this moment in time with you all, and I'm looking forward to being with you all in person in December. My self-love lesson is to keep carrying forward, to live my truth, to hear that internal calling and use what it is that I have to help other people, to help other people. That's my self-love lesson. Yes, yes. So Sandra says, my ideology that would replace my existence or breach my boundaries. You see the word doesn't is in there. So the word not is in there. You have to change that around to take the not out, because when you talk about what you don't want, the universe hears just what you're saying. Have you ever heard somebody say, I want everything in there except, and then all they hear is the except, and then they put that in there because you said it. If you don't want it, don't say it. Speak what you want. That way you are not confusing the powers that bring these things to you. Speak what you want, all right? Because when you're saying that word, you're tethered to it. When you say, I don't want X, you are tethered to it because your condition is attached to what it is that you don't want. So then you bring what it is that you don't want inadvertently. So let's talk about what you do want. Only speak that, okay? Only speak that. Okay. All right, so Ebony says, SLL, I will get the place I prayed for. You sure will. You know, actions too. We live in a physical world that requires physical action. So let's manifest and let the manifestation lead us to the actions that, or even look, sit back, allow, but listen to your intuition on whether you need to sit back or what it is that you need to do. Okay. SLL, the first word is don't. So let's take the don't away from there and talk about what we do want. All right, so we have come to the end of the video. Thank you all so much for coming out. I appreciate you all being a part of this broadcast. I will see you all in the next video, all right? All right, have a great day, you all. Thank you. Turn those clocks back and join the text notification squad so you never miss a video. Let me check the apples. I got them all. I will see you all. Thank you.